Good morning. Welcome to our Christ-centered yoga. This morning, so what we always do is we have a passage of scripture that we can kind of do a little bit of contemplation and meditation on at the end of our class, and a breath prayer that goes along with it that you can utilize during class. So I'm going to read our section today. It's where Jesus calms the storm. He's in the boat with his disciples and a big storm comes up and everybody's super stressed and he just calms everything down. So we would like Jesus to do that for us. All right, so we have Mark chapter 4, verses 35 to 41. That day, when evening came, he said to his disciples, "Let us go over to the other side." Leaving the crowd behind, they took him along just as he was in the boat. There were also other boats with him. A furious squall came up, and the waves broke over the boat so that it was nearly swamped. Jesus was in the stern, sleeping on a cushion. The disciples woke him and said to him, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" He got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the waves, "Quiet, be still." Then the wind died down and it was completely calm. He said to his disciples, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" They were terrified and asked each other, "Who is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him." So our breath prayer is going to be on the inhale, quiet, and on the exhale, be still. Yeah, I'm wishing that God would do that for me. Just like say that to my insides, quiet, be still. So that's going to be our breath prayer for this class. So join me on your mat. Let's start in child's pose. So knees coming wide, big toes coming together, sending our hips back toward our heels, and then reaching out in front of us. Oh my gosh, like a beautiful cat stretch in the sun with your forehead on the ground. And beginning to just come and connect to your breath. Observe what's happening with it. Observe how you're feeling today as you find yourself onto your mat. Are you feeling quiet already? Are you feeling particularly chaotic? Whatever you're feeling is just fine. We'll work our way through it throughout this practice. And as you start to begin to deepen your breath, go ahead and start paying attention to that pause, that stillness, that quietness that's at the very top of your breath and at the very bottom of your exhale. So as you're breathing, just notice that little moment of pause at the top and little moment of pause at the bottom. Hopefully you're starting to find some cleansing breaths as you're there. Your lungs are opening up. You're able to breathe just a little deeper and exhale a little bit deeper as well. From here, let's come up onto our hands and knees, tabletop. Fingers are spread wide. Wrists are directly below your shoulders. Belly button is pulled in order to give us a nice long spine. And as we inhale, we'll drop our belly, lifting our tailbone and our chest, heart toward the sky. And then we'll exhale, pulling the belly button to the spine, rounding the back, widening the shoulders, tucking the tailbone. And inhale, dropping the belly, opening up the heart. And exhale, pulling the belly button to the spine. And beginning from your tailbone, we'll do the same thing. All the movement starts at your tailbone. And we'll take one more. Inhale to cow. And exhale to cat. And let's return to neutral. Tucking our toes down, we're gonna come into our first down dog of the day. Taking our hips to the sky. Oh, dropping our heels toward the ground. Pressing our chest forward so that our ears are right between our biceps. And let's just pedal it out here for a moment. First down dog. Our body needs to find its way there. Taking those good breaths. Keep going. And from here, let's walk our hands up to our feet. Feet are hip width apart, and we'll just grab our opposite elbows, bend the knees a little bit, continue to wiggle out those hips, and just hanging here in ragdoll. And from here, we'll press against our shins and come into a half lift, driving the shoulder blades down the back, pulling the belly button in. I can rest my breakfast plate on your back. It would be a perfect table. And then we exhale, hang forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, forward fold. You can even start our breath prayer now with quiet. And exhale, be still. Let's go one more. Inhale, quiet. And exhale, be still. This time, let's come with a flat back all the way up to standing, reaching high for the sky. And then let's open up our arms into cactus, opening our chest to the sky. It's sort of a submission to whatever God has for you, right? Inhaling, arms up, bringing the hands to heart center. Let's do that again. Inhale, arms up. Open the arms to cactus, opening your heart, shining your heart toward the heavens in a surrender. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do that one more time. It feels so good. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, open to cactus. Opening the heart, collarbone, pulling the shoulders back. Inhale, arms up. And this time, let's sit down into a chair. Booty comes back. Weight is mostly in your heels. You can even lift your toes a little bit. That will keep your knees from going forward. Knees are directly over your heels, well, probably over your foot. And we'll find our first little spot to build some heat right here. If you'd like a little more, you can take your hands above your head. When you start feeling that chaos, you breathe, quiet, be still. Let's inhale up to standing with our quiet. And exhale, sitting into chair, be still. Inhale. And we'll start making our ujjayi breath, which is as if you're trying to fog up a mirror, but your mouth is closed. So as you exhale, it's like, but your mouth is closed. So we inhale through our nose and exhale with your mouth closed, fogging up a mirror. One more, just like that. Inhale. That just builds heat in our bodies. And exhale. Inhale. This time, let's exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, stepping to down dog. Inhale, coming forward to plank. Everybody holding plank for just a moment. Energy flying through your hands, out your head, out your heels, strong legs. And then we all bring our knees to the ground, turning the insides of our elbows forward, coming down into a chaturanga, and then all the way to the ground. Inhaling up to cobra, pressing lightly through the hands, engaging those back muscles, and then pushing back to down dog. Find your breath here. You can continue to notice that quiet and still pause at the top of your breath as it transitions to the exhale. Walking our feet to our hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms to the sky. And exhale, hands to heart center. Take one good solid breath here. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, forward to plank. On your knees or your toes, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra, whichever works for your body. And exhale, down dog. Take a breath here. And we'll walk our feet to our hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms to the sky. And exhale, hands to heart center. Again, inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Let's find our rhythm with our breath, right? Connecting our breath to our movement. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, down dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, chaturanga on your knees or toes. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, come high on the toes. Exhale, bending the knees deep. Walk, step, or jump your feet to your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale with a flat back up to standing. And exhale, hands to heart center. One more time. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Find your breath and your movement. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, down dog. Inhale to plank, quiet. Exhale, chaturanga, be still. Inhale, up dog or cobra, quiet. And down dog, exhale, be still. And let's hang out here for a few breaths. Planing out your breath. Finding your middle, center. Letting the clutter and the chaos just dissipate as you are quiet and still. Inhaling the right leg to the sky. Bringing the knee to the nose. Oh yeah, and then back up to the sky. Bringing the knee to your nose and then pulling your foot in between your front hands and dropping the back knee. Flipping the foot down. We'll get a nice kneeling stretch here. Pulling the right hip back, turning that left inner thigh back to balance out your hips. Get a beautiful stretch here. Find your breath, slowing it down. This practice is about centering ourselves so that when we get to the end, we're in a beautiful space for devotion. Lifting the back knee up off the floor, creating a long line of energy from the top of your head through your back heel. And then we'll heel toe our front foot out just a little bit for a little more stable stance, and we'll come up to crescent. Again, wrapping this inner thigh back in order to move your hips forward. And from here, let's do just a little heart opener, opening our arms to cactus, and then coming up. Again. Let's do one more. And from here, we'll twist toward our right leg that's in the front, bringing our right hand to our left hip, left hand to the outside of our right knee. And that's perfect. Or if you want more, you can bring yourself down with the hand on the outside of your leg. And we'll bring both hands to the ground, pressing back to down dog. Cleaning your breath out, come back to your breath, find that calm, quiet place. Inhaling the left leg to the sky, bringing the knee to the nose, back up to the sky. Bring the knee to your nose and then place the foot between your hands, dropping the back knee to the ground, flipping the toes under. This feels so good. If you've got blocks, this might be a good place for blocks too, or you can come up to your knee. Breathing oxygen into those tight places, quieting down that scary, chaotic feeling. You're fine. You're just fine. Hands to the floor, flipping the back toe under, straightening the back leg, pushing through the hands, right? We're not sinking into anything. Push through, get longer, 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 longer. I always envisioning that getting longer is creating space between all of my joints, between all of my vertebrae. Everything about getting longer just creates space for things to flow. That's my visual, at least. Heel toeing our left foot out to the side for a little more stable stance. We'll come up to crescent, wrapping that right thigh in and back. And on our exhale, we'll open our heart. It's a little bit harder to balance, I know. Inhale up and exhale. And inhale. One more. And this time we'll take our left hand to our left hip and our right hand outside of our right leg, and pulling in on the belly button to get taller to find the twist. Create the space, right? Create that space. Don't crunch anything. And from here, if you'd like more, you can come down. And bringing both hands to the ground. We'll press to down dog. Coming forward into plank. We'll take a chaturanga here if you'd like to. Inhale up dog. Exhale down dog. And let's take 3 deep breaths here. Come back to your center. You can quiet. And we can be still because God can quiet all those things for us. He is in control of all those metaphorical winds and waves. Even if they don't go away, We can still find our peace in the storm, bringing our feet up to our hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms to the sky. And exhale, hands to heart center. Take just a moment here. Pull up on those kneecaps. Pull the belly button in. Get another 2 centimeters stronger or taller. Creating space. Inhaling our arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, down dog. Inhaling the right leg to the sky, bringing the knee to the nose again. Back up to the sky. This time bringing our knee to our nose and placing our foot between our hands. We'll drop the back heel and we'll come up to warrior one. So if you need to widen your stance again a little bit, you can. Back heel wraps down to the ground. Arms come up. Torso is facing the top of your mat. Hips are doing the best they can. It's okay if they're not perfectly square. It doesn't really work in some hips. And opening into warrior two. You can adjust your feet so that your front knee is directly over your heel. Back leg is long and strong. Energy going into the outside of the floor, outside of your foot into the floor. Arms are long, pulling the shoulder blades together, reaching out those fingertips. Find the calm in the storm. Flipping that front hand, let's take it up to the sky, getting long. You're welcome to wrap this left hand behind your back if that is available to you. And coming through warrior two, we'll come into side angle. So your right elbow comes to your right knee. Left arm reaches for the sky. Imagine pressing against a glass wall that's in front of you. That will help open up your chest a little bit more. And bringing our hands to the floor, we'll press to down dog. Finding our center, finding our calm. Inhaling the left leg to the sky, bringing the knee to the nose. Back up. Bringing the knee to the nose and placing the foot between the hands. Dropping that back heel down, we'll come into warrior one. Strong back leg, sink into that front. Reach those arms up. Feel your power. And opening to warrior two. Adjusting your feet as necessary so that your front heel is lined up with your back arch. You can put a little weight into that front left toe so that you can use that as leverage to push your left knee out. Flipping our left hand, let's get taller before we come back. Wrapping that right arm around your low back if that's an option for you. Coming through warrior two into side angle with your left elbow on your left knee, right arm to the sky, reaching for the ground if that's available. Looking up to your right hand if that is available. And bringing both hands to the ground, gently pressing back to down dog. Staying here or coming forward into a vinyasa with me if you'd like to. And meeting in down dog, all of us, for a few connecting breaths. Walking your feet up to our hands. We'll come into a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up to the sky. And exhale, hands to heart center. Taking a few breaths here. Inhale, quiet. Exhale, be still. Not as a command, but as an invitation, yeah? It's an invitation to let God do his thing. He's got it. He knows it. He sees it. This time, let's start right here. We're going to take our left foot back into like kind of a narrow warrior one. Okay, so you've still got a long straight leg behind you. It's just a little smaller. Arms come up. Straightening the front leg. We're going to come forward with a flat back into pyramid. Reaching for the floor if you can, but keeping your back straight. So if you're up here, that's brilliant. If you've got blocks, that's amazing. And once you've found your good spot, let's go ahead and just grab your right hip flexor and massage it backwards. You'll feel the stretch change in that right leg. And if you're here, you're perfect. From here, we're going to take a twist toward our right. So if your hand's on the floor or on a block, leave that left hand there. And then taking your right hand to your hip, you'll pull the right shoulder back or take that arm to the sky. If you're a little bit higher, same thing, just pulling that shoulder back to get a nice twist in your spine. Trying not to hunch anything, keeping it long. And we'll come back down, opening yourself up to the wide edge of your mat. And we'll just hang forward in a straddle. This is kind of free time. You can bend your knees, take your hips back and forth. Whatever you need to do. And then we'll just continue turning toward our left. So our left foot is in front, our right foot is in back, and we'll come up into that narrow warrior one, this time with your left foot in front. And then we'll straighten that front leg, pulling the left hip back, coming forward with a flat back as far as you can go. And once you've found your place, you'll take your left hand into your left hip flexor and just massage it back. And from here, if you're able to, you'll keep your right hand on the floor, taking our left hand to our left hip and opening that left shoulder, maybe taking the hand to the sky. Again, if you aren't all the way down, you'll just come right here or right here. Really pulling the feet together, that's going to give you support in your legs. And bringing the hand to the ground. Again, turning toward the long edge of your mat. This time, let's turn our feet out and we'll just squat down. You can sink into those hips. And we'll straighten our legs and we'll heel toe our feet in so they're just a little bit wider than our hips. And we'll sink down again into Malasana. Really trying to sink our booty down and lifting our chest. Just letting our hips just open up. And release in this situation. And again, if you have a block, you can sit on it here to give your hips just a little bit of support so that they can let go in the hip joints. It's a great way to sit, especially after a day of sitting at a desk or at a computer or in a car, on the couch, wherever. We'll bring our hands back to the floor, turning our feet forward. One last stretch here. Bringing our hands to our hips. Let's come up with a flat back. Good. Okay, we're gonna do a little core balance work. So we're gonna come to the top of our mat. We'll inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And exhale to down dog. Coming forward into plank. Let's all take our right knee to the ground, keeping the left knee up, okay? From here, you're gonna keep your right hand, take your right hand and put it right underneath your face so that you can open up into a side plank. So right knee's on the ground, right hand is on the ground, left leg is straight, left hand is up. If this is a challenge for you to hold and balance, because we're on one plane, that's just perfect. If you like it a little bit more, you can straighten that bottom leg, stacking it behind your foot, or you can stack your feet right on top of each other. Or if that feels strong, I'm already shaking, but if it feels strong, you can lift that top leg, pull everything in. Use that bottom leg, use those obliques. And bringing the foot back down, bringing the knee back down, coming back into tabletop. Let's sit back in child's pose for just a moment. Coming back up into tabletop, we'll do the left side. So we're gonna leave our left knee on the floor, putting our left hand underneath. We're gonna turn open towards the right for side plank. So left leg comes out, or right leg comes out straight, opening up the body to the right side of your mat. Arm is up. And if you would like some more, straighten the leg, stack the feet, lift the top leg, side plank. Woo. Bringing the foot back down, dropping the knee, coming to tabletop, and a little child's pose. Nice work. And we'll come forward, laying all the way down onto our belly. Actually, let's come back up. I'd like to do a little bit of camel before we go into this. So we'll come up high on our knees. If you need a little extra padding under your knees, just roll up your mat like so. Putting our hands in our back pockets. We'll pull our elbows together. We'll wrap our shoulder blades back, pull the belly button in, and then we'll press our hips forward as we open our heart for camel. Calm your breath. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, sitting back on our knees. Inhale, quiet. Exhale, be still. It's an invitation. Inhale. You're invited to be quiet. Exhale, you're invited to be still. We'll come up and we'll do that same thing one more time. Either hands in your pockets, or if it's in your practice, you can curl your toes under, reaching for your heels and pressing up from there. And releasing up. Sitting back on your heels. You can put a pillow underneath your hips too if that's too much for your knees. And we release and we receive that huge heart opener. All right, now we'll come down onto our bellies. So let's make our way down to our stomach. And the first move we're going to do is locust. So our hands are reaching back, hands facing down. And as we reach further for our feet, it automatically pulls our chest and heart up off the ground. And if you would like more, engage the glutes and lift those feet off the floor. Can you rest the front half of your body? Can you relax your belly? And release, one cheek to the ground. We'll rock our hips out. You are welcome to take a full bow if you would like to. The rest of us are going to do another locust. Hands facing the floor, toes reaching back. Reach for those toes with those fingers, drawing the chest and collarbone up. Engaging the glutes to lift the feet if you'd like to. Pulling the belly button to the spine, but not in a stressed way. And releasing right or the other cheek to the ground. And we'll press back to child's pose to give our back a really nice release. And then let's swing our legs around. I'll just swing around this way so I can see my clock. We're going to sit here in staff pose for just a moment. I feel like this is such a meditative pose. So let's pull the flesh out from our sitting bones so that we're sitting right on top. If it's hard to sit straight, if you feel like you're here, sit on top of a cushion or a block to elevate your hips. It helps sit up tall. We're going to press our hands into the ground, lifting up out of the floor, pressing energy out through our heels, out through our top of our head. Quiet that inside. Invite it to be still. And we'll go ahead and bring our right knee in, sitting up tall, still. Lifting in our spine before we twist toward that right foot, right leg, and then you're more than willing, more than able to hold on to that right knee, using this as a support behind you. If you'd like, you can take the knee to the outside. Sorry, the elbow to the outside of your knee, sitting tall. Inhale to create space. Exhale to wring it out. And we'll release. Bring that foot to the ground. Inhaling that left knee in. Getting tall before we twist. Left hand is our support. Right hand holds that left knee. Take that right elbow outside the left knee if that's helpful. And we'll release. We're going to do a little bit of a boat situation here. So still on our sitting bones, we rock back to that space between our sitting bones and our tailbone. Back is still straight. Just our toes maybe balancing on the ground. We're going to do this a couple of times. So maybe take yourself in levels. Can you reach in front of you and not hold those legs? Can you reach one leg up or the other or both? Maybe if you're at both, you're holding onto your legs to give yourself just a little extra support. Maybe your hands are reaching. Maybe your legs are straight. One more breath, quiet. Be still. And let's release. Bringing the soles of our feet together. Knees fall out to the side for a little butterfly. Let's do that one more time. Finding that place where you feel the chaos a little bit and you need maybe God to help you settle it down, right? Coming back. There's a string pulling out your chest to keep it up so that it doesn't round. Here you go. Reaching, lifting. Pull that belly button to your spine. Support your body. One more breath. And release the feet to the floor. Let's take one more butterfly and a good cleansing breath there for you. And coming back up. Let's go ahead and come into a straddle position. So if this feels too crazy, you can definitely bring one knee in for sure, because we're just going to be working this leg. So you're going to take your elbow and place it on the inside of your leg as best you can. If you're up here, that's fine. Doesn't matter. This is a side stretch, okay? So we're here. I'm using my elbow to press against my leg to open up my shoulders. And then I'll take my top hand behind my head. And I'll reach that arm to the sky. And then I'll reach over the top, trying to keep this opposite hip on the floor. Deep side stretch, yeah? And coming up, let's go ahead and now turn our body so that it faces our leg and come over as best we can. Totally different stretch, right? I still feel the stretch across my back and in my hamstring. It's not as much a side stretch anymore. And drawing up, we'll move to the other side. So you take your palm to the sky. Oh, elbow to the inside of the leg. See, I can't get my elbow to the floor today. I'm super tight right here. Try a little bit more. Oh my gosh. Hand comes up behind your head. You just breathe into that tightness, creating space, allowing for the release, right? Not forcing a release, allowing for the release. That arm comes to the sky maybe. My opposite hip is still in the ground. And we'll reach up and over. Oh, all the way to your toe if you're able. I'm not able today. And coming up nice and slowly, turning toward that leg and crawling down the leg as best you can. Helps me to grab my mat, give myself a little bit more leverage. And we'll come back up. If you have one knee in, take both legs out, even if it's here, wherever your best is perfect. And we're just gonna walk ourselves forward as best we can. It's okay if you have a straight back or if you round over, it doesn't matter to me. It's whatever kind of a stretch your body is needing. Walking yourself back up. We'll go ahead and lay on the ground for a couple of supine stretches. Now we are really starting to slow down here, so the stretches are beautiful and deep. Your breath is getting deeper, more relaxed, leading us to a time when we're ready for some devotion and meditation and contemplation. So let's start by pulling our knees to our chest, pulling those shoulder blades down to the ground and rocking back and forth, giving that whole spine just an awesome massage. Let's go ahead and take both of our feet to the floor. We'll take our right foot on top of our left knee in a figure four. If that's a good stretch for your outer right hip, then perfect. If you would like more, you can thread your hands through and grab the inside, back side of your thigh and pull it in, or your shin. However, it's going to allow you to get a beautiful stretch in that right hip. Breathe space into where it's tight and exhale all that tightness. And we'll lower that left foot to the ground and go ahead and switch legs. Left foot comes on top of the right knee. Pull that right leg in if that's available to you. Thinking of pressing this left knee out. Maybe flexing the left foot so that it protects the left knee a little bit better. And taking that right knee to the floor. We're going to do one little bridge here. So really anchoring our entire foot into the ground. Press our hips up into the sky. You can even pull your shoulder blades underneath for a little more space if that feels good. And we'll release to the ground. Let's bring our knees back into our chest and grab our big toes with our big toes with our peace fingers, coming into happy baby. One more time to really think, breathing in, quiet. And exhale, be still. Are you feeling any different as we kind of start to wrap up our practice? Having breathed that truth in, that we can be quiet, we can be still, because there is an author of all of this who is at work. And it's always something good, even if it's really hard. Releasing our feet to the ground. Let's come into our Shavasana, whether that's your feet are out at the edges of your mat and your hands are just open to the heavens to receive what God has for you. Or if you would like to lay with your legs straight up a wall to get a little bit of an inversion. If you want to join me in easy pose for a couple of minutes of meditation, maybe sitting on a block so that you can really sit up straight. I welcome you to just find that position, and we'll just lay there for 1 minute and then move into our lectio divina. So I'm going to read our passage one time. Just lay where you are, keeping your eyes nice and closed or relaxed. I'm going to read our passage and just listen to it. Don't come up with any plans or anything, just listen. That day, when evening came, he said to his disciples, "Let us go over to the other side." Leaving the crowd behind, they took him along, just as he was, in the boat. There were also other boats with him. A furious squall came up, and the waves broke over the boat so that it was nearly swamped. Jesus was in the stern, sleeping on a cushion. The disciples woke him and said to him, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" He got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the waves, "Quiet, be still." Then the wind died down and it was completely calm. He said to his disciples, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" They were terrified and asked each other, "Who is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him." So let's just take about 30 seconds and just sit with that. And this time when I read, let's see if there's a word or a phrase that shimmers for you, that God might be pointing out to you. It can be any word. It doesn't have to be something obvious or huge. It can be any word or phrase. It's just for you today. That day, when the evening came, he said to his disciples, "Let us go over to the other side." Leaving the crowd behind, they took him along, just as he was in the boat. There were also other boats with him. A furious squall came up, and the waves broke over the boat so that it was nearly swamped. Jesus was in the stern, sleeping on a cushion. The disciples woke him and said to him, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" He got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the waves, "Quiet, be still." Then the wind died down and it was completely calm. He said to his disciples, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" They were terrified and asked each other, "Who is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him." So let's just sit for about 30 seconds with whatever word glittered for you, shimmered for you, called out to you. And as I read it this third time, maybe consider if there's an invitation for you, whatever that might look like for you today. Mark chapter 4, verses 35 through 41. That day, when evening came, he said to his disciples, "Let us go over to the other side." Leaving the crowd behind, they took him along, just as he was in the boat. There were also other boats with him. A furious squall came up, and the waves broke over the boat so that it was nearly swamped. Jesus was in the stern, sleeping on a cushion. The disciples woke him and said to him, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" He got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the waves, "Quiet, be still." And then the wind died down and it was completely calm. He said to his disciples, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" They were terrified and asked each other, "Who is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him." Take 30 seconds and consider if there's an invitation in there for you. And instead of coming out of our Shavasana, I'm just going to leave you there to come out whenever you are ready. Thank you for joining me this morning. I'd love it if you, just thank you for joining me this morning. Enjoy your time with God. See you next week.